What is up, everybody? We are live with tonight's late night agenda or the evening agenda. I don't know what we are anymore, Paddy. I've lost track, mate.
We're winging it, aren't we? It's fine. It's whatever you want to call it. As long as people are here and happy to listen, that's the main thing.
Organised chaos.
Shit,
That's the way I like to think about it. Organised chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot my mic wasn't even in the shot. Apologies. Or in close. There we go.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do with the mics these days, mate. I used to start it off, the mics were over my head, then I moved them to the left, then in front of me. I don't know. But what I do know is I got to get the ad read in. So thank you to SPITCH, who are a fantasy football manager game that will allow you to pit your knowledge against other users to be with a chance to win your share of a prize pool, which can be as high as £70,000. That's a lot of money. Every time I say it, Paddy, that is a lot of money. 70 grand.
I wouldn't mind a slice of that pie, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, buddy, we can't play it, but SPITCH is open to people from the UK, age 18 plus. You do have to have your ID ready at sign up. It makes it that much easier. It offers games from the Premier League, the Champions League, the Bundesliga. Every week you can create a new lineup to refresh your chances of getting a stake of that 70 grand. And once a match day kicks off, you receive points based on the usual stuff like stats, goals, shots, tackles. Tons of stats available in it. There's 2 links, my friends. The first link is to download SPITCH. The second link is for the SPITCH community, which will allow you to join other leagues, get you some information, and probably make the gameplay a bit better and hopefully win a few bobs. So look, let us know how you get on. Links in the description. 18 plus, UK only, and do have your ID ready and sign up. Yeah, we can't do it, Paddy, because we're European citizens over here in Ireland.
It's a shame, but listen, maybe one day we'll move over to Anfield and just sit in the centre circle and enter all the giveaways we can.
I do love a giveaway, mate. I was a fucker for them. The amount of free burgers I used to get off Bobo's Burgers, a place that we're just near the Olympia Theatre. So we used to always enter them competitions. I think I won like 4 of them steady. Free burgers. I love burgers, mate.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Bobo's are class as well. # not sponsored. Other burger places are available.
Oh yeah, they're a good burger, man. Bobo's make a good burger, definitely.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I love a good burger. But burgers, they can be hit and miss, but they are hit.
A massive. We're off already, by the way. We're into food already here. Massive importance on the bun, though. I mean, if the bun isn't right, it doesn't matter how good the meat is.
I reckon a brioche bun is key. Very good.
Oh, I like that. I like a Kaiser roll as well.
I never had one of them, but I'm a sucker for a brioche roll. One of my mother's specialities is burgers, and it's one of those where I don't wince at the thought of. So I encourage burgers in this house.
Good stuff. Yeah, my daughter's one of these vegetarians, and she, it baffles me because she goes shop, mate. She comes back with everything that looks like meat. Like it looks like a chicken burger, it looks like a beef burger, it looks like a sausage.
They're getting good at imitating. I must admit. Vegetarians, I get it, but vegans, I fair play to them. I just know I couldn't do it. No. I need meat in my life.
And I'm with you, my man. I'm with you. The more the merrier. I'd love to do a blind test though. One day I might actually do that for a video. Do a blind test to see if they can actually cod me.
I'd love to too, but I feel like I'd smash it. I've eaten too much meat in my life to not know the difference.
That's like me with Diet Coke. I'll be like, bring on your Pepsis, bring on your Dr. Peppers. I got this shit. I guarantee I wouldn't, though. I probably wouldn't know which was which.
I think the 3 Cokes are distinctive. I don't like the normal Coke. Diet is okay. I don't mind it, but I prefer Coke Zero. Boom.
Yeah, I haven't really given Coke Zero a fair shout. And honestly, I'll just go Diet Coke. But I must give it a bash because people tell me it's nice. I'm just a sucker for the Diet Coke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of bad shit in it anyway, but listen, it's on the face healthier than normal Coke, so we'll go with it.
I drink a bit of water as well, so I should be all right, mate. You know what I mean? I like to think that, the water does me good. I convince myself, Paddy, 2 litres of water a day, get rid of everything, all the Kyos, all the burgers, all the cakes, all the shitty food.
I know, I'm in like a health kick right now because I have that game in England next month and I want to be semi ready for it. So I'll be just drinking water, out exercising, so we'll get there one day.
I'm getting a bit worried there when the word semi came into it, mate. I won't lie.
Listen, we're Liverpool. We don't deal with semis. We deal with finals, and we have one on Sunday.
Absolute. We love that. On Sunday, I mean, let's kick off with a conversation about Jamie Carragher. I don't know if you've seen this, but CARRA thinks that it's the wrong decision to play Caoimhin Kelleher in goal, that Klopp should go full strength in every position to match up to Chelsea. What's your take on that?
I see where Cara's coming from. I really do. And for me, it's like this. I would prefer Alisson because he is the better goalkeeper. But I am happy with Caoimhin. But I must admit, if Caoimhin wasn't Irish, I'd 100% be calling for Alisson. And that's being 100% honest.
Yeah, there's definitely an Irish bias in it for me as well. I won't lie, there
Yeah.
is. But I listened to Pep Linders in the press conference earlier on, and I love that the club are making a real point out of the goalkeeping scenario and the fact that they want to be a destination for goalkeepers. They want to be known as the best coached goalkeepers in the business, basically.
I really enjoyed that Pep Linders press conference today. He gets it, doesn't he? He just knows the crack. Also, that top he was wearing was beautiful.
I thought the
night.
same. I thought, oh, hello. What's that top?
Oh, yeah. It's the bit the players have the same one, but with a bit of a ready kind of one, and then that's a Goldie one that managers have. But yeah, I love Pep Linders. He's a top man, and yeah, Liverpool are like an institution for goalkeepers. And as he said, we've played 3 different goalkeepers this year, and as much as I may dislike Adrian San Miguel, he did have a good performance against Preston earlier on in the cup. So it's good that all our goalkeepers have contributed. You have John Achterberg, you have Claudio Taffarel, the famous Brazilian goalkeeper. So yeah, it's great to see for a young goalkeeper you can come through Liverpool and actually get game time. And I think it's important to honour that and give Caoimhin a start. He will start. Klopp has said it. And I have no qualms about Caoimhin starting. He's a solid goalkeeper, a fantastic backup. Is he as good as Alisson? No. Has he put a foot wrong? I think he's maybe had one mistake that I can remember in his real career, and not to mention, I think he's probably I actually do think he's a better penalty saver than Alisson, which could be paramount. And I have a sneaky feeling we're going to see penalties on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, mate. I think this is a coin flip, and it could go either way. We've loads to get through, actually. I mean, a lot of news happened over the last 24 hours or so, but I just want to clear something up from earlier on. You might not have seen this, mate. I was on a live stream earlier on, and I had to end it like that. My phone rang in the middle of the live stream. It was my doctor. I was waiting a week to speak to my doctor, and I had to but I left my mic on, so the stream people still hear the audio of me waffling away to my doctor in the kitchen. But that's what happened earlier on, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. My GP rang and I had to talk to her, so I just grabbed the phone and legged it because the phone's my camera, like, so just grabbed it. And legged it.
Yeah. Oh, forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. You had to, these things.
Doctors, mate. They have their own schedules, and if you don't adhere to them, you'll be fucking waiting. So yeah, I just had to clear that up earlier on. But Paris going to host the Champions League final, so we have to start looking at travel and stuff to Paris, Paddy. Now a bit easier to get to than St. Petersburg because we are making it.
Yeah, I was looking at flights already, and we could also go to. You could do the channel thing, isn't it? Whatever that from London, right?
Bit of a ball like though. You're going all the way to London and then London across.
Yeah, I'd love to do a road trip. Can you imagine? Anfield Agenda road trip. Oh my god!
Don't tempt me, Paddy. This is my type of shit. Like I'm yeah.
Oh,
there's so many options. You could go. Like, if you wanted to go the long arse way around, you could get the ferry to Bilbao. I think goes from either Northern Ireland or Wexford. I think it goes to Bilbao. So that gets you to Spain, and then you can drive across to France. There's definitely ways to get there. Once you get to mainland Europe, mate, you'll find a way.
You're flying, yeah. Just once you don't go by Russia, I suppose, or Ukraine, that for that matter. But yeah, that could be a shout. I was buzzing to hear that, and it's by far the right decision. To Russia, it's the right decision. Petersburg shouldn't have it. Every sporting event in Russia should be cancelled and rescheduled. And every Russian team in sports should be banned for the foreseeable future, in my opinion. But yeah, I was buzzing about it, and then I was like, that's going to give PSG an extra impetus. And I kind of was a bit, oh, fuck. So I hope someone knocks them out. I hope Real Madrid come back and knock them out.
Yeah, I mean, fair show. I always thought it was going to be moved to one of the big European cities because, they already have the infrastructure in place, stadiums, hotels, all that kind of stuff. But I genuinely, mate, I'm so convinced we're going to be there. I'm absolutely. And now that it's Paris, and we've already done Paris, we've already lifted it in Paris before, why not again? Why not make it double? Well, I think it's 2 Wembleys, isn't it, as well? My memory's right. Istanbul, Wembley,
Rome,
Paris.
Rome twice. I think Rome twice, right?
Rome twice, then.
I have
Rome 77, wasn't it?
Rome, London, no, Paris, Rome again, Istanbul, Madrid.
Well, there you go. It's going to have to be Paris twice then.
Was London one? Yeah, because I have a thing up on the wall. It's the 6 Champions League final jerseys, and then where we won them. It was 78. Where was 78? That's where 78 was in London, right? That's once I know that. Yeah, Rome twice, defo. Well, and we've already won it in Paris. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
The content. I can already see people say road trip, road trip. The content, Paddy. The content. Imagine the TikToks.
you know what
and
we
the videos.
do? We go on to one of our reliable sponsors and we say, listen, lads, this is going to be biblical. Sponsor us, pay for the van, camper van, the gang. That would be biblical. But the content, TikToks, the whole shebang.
We get on to Leon from Boyle Sports and tell them we want the ice cream van.
Yeah, it's good shout. Good shout, to be fair. They're not short of a few quid anyway, that's for sure.
I couldn't do I could do a camper van, but there's no way I'm doing on the floor of a fucking ice cream van or anything like that.
Rent a proper camper van.
I'm already starting to figure out. You have it in my head now. I'm trying to figure out the trip, how we can get there.
Listen, I'm buzzing. And by the way, Craig, I hope you're ready for your TikTok dance debut on Sunday. I have a couple of routines ready for you.
Man, bring them on, Paddy. I seen that. We were doing your combined 11 earlier on. We only had one Chelsea name in there, and I couldn't really disagree with you.
Well, obviously, it's difficult with that. That's kind of a thing that went around. You compare 2 11s and say who's better. Obviously, Chelsea have a different system, so it's tough. But yeah, no, Chelsea fans saying Kante is better than Fabinho like this season. I don't know what planet they're on. It must be planet Zog. And one thing I really can't understand is Chelsea fans saying Mendy is better than Alisson. That is disgusting. If I could find a word. If you think Mendy is a better goalkeeper than Alisson, you genuinely need a psychiatric assessment.
I would agree. Mendy's a good keeper. We give him his dues, but he's no Alisson Becker. Alisson Becker's top 3 in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Mendy is not.
I would agree. I don't think he is. He's a good keeper. He's certainly been a good acquisition for Chelsea. Again, I think though, Paddy, we need to have that Thiago Fabinho double pivot with maybe Henderson, because midfield to me, man, maybe I'm haunted by the last time we played Chelsea, but I just think we need to get the grips with the midfield.
For me, Thiago is the first name on the team sheet for Wembley, without question. Because we have people would say Van Dijk, but I think Thiago. I think we'd win a game with Thiago in midfield and no Van Dijk. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whereas just Van Dijk couldn't win the game for us. But I think Thiago, the midfield battle is so crucial for this game. There you go, Tom. We'll get looking at it. Happy days. But the midfield battle is crucial. In that recent game against Chelsea, the 2-2, we didn't control that midfield for even 5 minutes. We got overrun. And if we win the midfield battle, we win the game, in my opinion. And I'm so confident with having Thiago in our team. Please God, nothing happens between now and then. He's completely 100% fit. He's imperative to this possible cup, and I'm just so excited to see that, as you said, that double pivot of Thiago and Fabinho.
There was something I wanted to just on the Carragher thing, because I see a few people coming in. Let me just read it to you. So Jamie Carragher explains Liverpool decision he will never understand ahead of Chelsea Cup Final. CARRA has questioned why Jurgen Klopp is selecting Caoimhin Kelleher ahead of Alisson Becker for Sunday's final, insisting that Liverpool should be going full strength against Chelsea in every position. As is the case with many other clubs, the Reds have a track record of resting their first-choice keeper in the League Cup and instead allow backup options to assume responsibility. Alisson's only featured the competition once since arriving from Roma in 2018. His semi-final first leg appearance against Arsenal in January, arising to improve his match rhythm, having been sidelined due to COVID. Kelleher retained his position for the fixture at the Emirates and will start this week, showpiece final at Wembley. Paddy and I have discussed this already, but we're biased, so we'd love to know what the chat would feel. We're both openly honest and say we're biased as fuck because Kelleher's Irish, and I love the idea of him walking out. But I do also like the idea that if we are to keep somebody like Caoimhin Kelleher at the club, he needs to have an interest, Paddy. He needs to know that there are going to be some opportunities from it. It won't just be if Alisson, has an illness or something like that.
No, yeah, 100%. I respect Carragher's opinion, of course, but there is no world in which Kelleher doesn't start. And it's already been echoed, like we know it's happening. But even without Klopp coming out and saying it already, he has to start. It would be wholly unfair not to start him. He's been instrumental in getting us here. He's a penalty saving specialist. And if this was a case of Adrian or Alisson, I'd be like foaming at the mouth, screaming for Alisson right now. But Kelleher is actually a competent goalkeeper, so I'm very comfortable with him in net. And you know what? we do have enough quality to make Kelleher irrelevant in this game. I hope Kelleher doesn't have to make one single save, because that means we've romped home and won the cup. It's
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And like, if you're saying to me, if we had to have one position on the pitch where there was a player change, I think Kelleher is probably the safest position. And look, he played a big part in us getting here as well. It's important we point that out. Thinking back to that Leicester game.
Yeah, you have to reward loyalty. And he saved penalty against Norwich as well. Or we had 2 penalty shootouts, haven't we, in this competition this year? Only 1. 2, right? I'm nearly sure 2. Leicester. No, we definitely saved the penalty against someone else, though. Rather, it was a penalty shootout. But we've seen him in the past as well. He's been crucial in many penalty shootouts for us, and he's earned this spot. But as I said, I probably would prefer. No. Do you know what? No, I'm all aboard the Kelleher train, because you have to back the boys. The Irish. It's not often an Irishman starts a final for Liverpool, and it hasn't happened since. I'm gonna say was Finnan in the 2007 final.
I don't know, Paddy. My memory is fucking shocking.
It was Istanbul then.
Where I was. It's been 2007.
Yeah, it's been well over a decade more since we had an Irishman starting Liverpool in a final. So I'm buzzing to see it.
I must write out the program. Actually, I have the program somewhere from Athens, and that'll probably answer that one for me. But I wanted to bring your attention to something else today. Andy Hughes, managing director of the club, reiterated again that the club can only live within its own means. It can only spend what it brings in. Now, he went on to say that he's not saying this because he wants to worry people about transfers in the summer, but he just reiterated it. Do you think maybe this is just another, I won't say dig, but another few crumbs being put out there towards Salah or any players that are going to start negotiating with us now to say, be reasonable?
Yeah, listen, I never have any qualms about that, because at the end of the day, you have to be shrewd this day and age. You have to manage your finances, because we're in a great place right now, and we've recovered from a detrimental place a decade ago. And a couple of years of mismanagement gets you right back in the shit. But yeah, I reckon it is a bit of a tactic as well. I do expect us to have our biggest summer yet. Not yet, but since maybe the Alisson Van Dijk summer, or I know Alisson was in January, but you know what I mean. So yeah, it is definitely a bit of a tactic, but I do still expect us to do solid business in the summer.
Same, but again, I'll have to be honest. My idea of what will constitute a good summer keeps changing every few days at this rate, because I'm starting to let more and more doubts creep in, mate. I'm becoming the person I never wanted to be. I'm really starting to be cynical about the potential of what we're going to do, not in regards to bringing people in, but I think there's going to be a payoff for bringing people in. So by that, I mean, if we're to look at a Bellingham, I think there'll be a sacrifice.
Yes, I would agree, but I feel like we don't have to sacrifice the big guns. We've talked about this till the cows come home, or we could talk about this till the cows come home. Number one agenda on the summer list is Salah's contract. After that, I'm happy enough. And Steve Finnan did start in 2007, so yeah, it's about that long since we had a finalist Irishman. But yeah, anyway, Salah's number one on the list, and then you have Fabio Carvalho coming in, which should be a formality. And then cover for the right side, but and then I don't necessarily want it to happen, but I do expect Sadio Mane to leave, purely because I do think, yeah.
On that, actually, sorry to cut across you, buddy. On that, There was an article out today to say that Real Madrid are very interested in Sadio Mane.
Yeah, it would be a fantastic move for him. I'd imagine he would be intrigued by that. But no, I don't want him to leave. I do want to retain the Fab Five we have at the moment. It's a very good depth. I'm in no rush to sell anyone. I would hope we could sign someone without having to sacrifice. But my ideology behind this is I feel like Diaz will eventually, sooner rather than later, fortify himself as the starting left-sided player, and that will then give Sadio Mane the decision to make. Does he want to spend the rest of his prime years as a backup option, or does he want to go and be the main man, or the main Mane? But again, I want to keep them all. I want to retain, and add to what we already have, not deplete to improve, because that's counterintuitive.
Yeah, I'm the same, but we're greedy bastards, mate. We're not looking at the bottom line. But I do agree with you. I mean, I'm fully on board with keeping the five lads for another few years, but we'll wait and see. I did wanted to ask you something that was asked to me earlier on. we'll go through a predicted 11, but with the forwards, if Jota was to play, and if he was to play through the centre, who do you think loses out on the left-hand side?
That's a really tough one.
Because I think me and you would both probably play Diaz, but I feel Klopp will play Mane if that scenario was to unfold.
Yeah, spot on. I'd be going for Diaz, but 100% Klopp will go for Mane. I think in a final he'll back his boys. He'll back his OG boys. And that's why we're going to see Jordan Henderson starting without a shadow of a doubt. And you know what? I'm not upset with that. I would have been maybe a couple of weeks ago, but once Fabinho and Thiago are on the other side, I'm happy enough. But yeah, no, I reckon we'll see Mane. I would choose Diaz because I think I just love him. I have such a affinity for him. And not that I don't love Mane, but I just feel he's the better option at the moment.
Yeah, I'd go with Diaz. I just feel like, apart from anything else, it will be a little bit of the unknown for Chelsea. Whereas they've played against Mane before, they maybe know what to expect. And I'm not saying that happened with Mo at times, but certainly they copped on to how good Mo was very quickly, opposition teams. And keeping Tuchel guessing would be, no bad thing ahead of this game on Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, I'd love to see, I hope Diogo is fit. I just feel like it's going to be too tight. And I think we're going to see this, as you were. I think we're going to see both Diaz and Mane through the middle, and Salah. And, that hasn't gone too badly, has it? So I wouldn't be adverse to that. I hope to have Jota back once he is fit, though. There's no point in horseshoeing him in if he's not 100%. That's the key for me here. And we won't have match sharpness per se, but I do have a thing for like Jota. As much as we love Jota, sometimes he can be ineffective against certain teams. I don't know if anyone shares that opinion. I feel like sometimes he's a bit quiet against those kind of really, really staunch defensive sides like a Chelsea. I don't know. I think we're going to see Diaz, Mane, Salah, and that, I mean, what a front three that is.
I'll get back to this in 2 seconds. I just want to answer Patrick here. Thank you, by the way, Patrick, for becoming a member. Really appreciate that. I will make sure that link is refreshed, buddy, and you should see it soon. I'll make sure Connor sorts that out for you, mate. So check back maybe in an hour or so, and it should be all sorted. So here's what I went with, Paddy. Let's see if you agree or disagree. Obviously, Caoimhin in goal, Trent, Robbo. I went with Matip because I was looking ahead to the Norwich game and thinking he might play Canade there. But look, either way, Matip, Canade with Van Dijk, I don't give a shit. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other for me. They're all brilliant, so I don't mind. Midfield, what we spoke about, I think we'll see Fabinho, Thiago, Jordan Henderson. And then up top, exactly as you stated there, Mane through the centre again, Luis Diaz on the left, and Mohamed Salah on the right. That's how I think we start.
Yeah, spot on, 100%. I think 10 of them are nailed on. The question mark remains on Jota. But I back that team. And I think Matip is the third as well, as much as I love Konate. Although Klopp has had a tendency to throw Konate in at the most random times, away at Old Trafford, away at the San Siro. It wouldn't shock me to see him starting. And again, whoever partners Verge, I am comfortable with once it's one of Matip and Konate. I do expect Joel. But yeah, I mean, we have the rags, the riches we have now is just fantastic. The depth we have right now is fantastic. There's for me, a weird thing in the back of my head. Would love to see Naby Lad start. I don't know why. I know it's an outlandish one ahead of Hendo. But there's no question that Klopp will not start Hendo. But I'm gonna get so much abuse. I think Cade is a better footballer than Henderson.
What was it? 14 minutes past 9 on Friday, 25th of February. That's when Paddy Murphy's career ended. Everybody just so we can I'm only joking. I get where you're coming from.
I don't even want to read the comments.
It's horrible, isn't it? Because with this group of players, I know where you're coming from. We all have our favourites and we all have soft spots, and we all agree that Oxlade-Chamberlain should be moved on in the summer. Sorry, Chris, but we do. I get where you're coming from. There's something, like, if they're both at their absolute brilliant best, Cade offers us something different to Henderson.
Yeah, I love Henderson. He's fantastic. He's a great servant. He's a proper footballer. He does a lot of good defensive work. But as a footballer, skill set, I think there's no question that Cade is more talented than Henderson.
Yeah, I think we're all a little bit blinded at times to Henderson's ability, and I include myself in this because I've been questioning a lot lately about Hendo's impact. But then I think he's one of those players that we really see when he's not there, and I think Fabinho is obviously another one. But again, great headaches to have though, to know that we're talking about a Keita or a Henderson or a Harvey Elliott as an example. And by the way, someone said to me earlier on, what about Elliott to start the game? Oh, that would be a bold call from Klopp.
Yeah, no, oh, absolutely. No, I think Henderson's nailed on, and I'm happy with that. He offers so much as not only from the football side of view, but also as a servant, as a leader, and that's where he differs to players like Naby Keita. What I was saying there was purely from a footballing base point of view. Please don't, lads. Okay, I'm sorry. I am backing Henderson to start. Don't worry, he is El Capitano, and so I'm buzzing with that. And I have a lot of admiration for Henderson for obvious reasons, but also he's come through a lot of adversity at his time at Liverpool. You know, he was a whisker away from being booted out the door to Fulham in a trade deal for
Imagine that for a sec, Paddy. Imagine Clint Dempsey, no Hendo. Imagine the future. Like, imagine where we would be right now, because we definitely wouldn't be talking about Clint Dempsey anymore.
That would have, that's like a kind of a glitch in the matrix type thing. Like that could have been enough to, like, we may have not won anything. Klopp may have never came. It's mental. But no, that team you picked the spot on, and surely like we're better than Chelsea. Like, can we just please for once go out and just beat the team? Like, not make it difficult for ourselves. Go 1-0 down. I'm so worried, and we're going to be on. I just pray the boys go out and do the job, and I know they're good enough to.
I'm always nervous about any game at Wembley. I don't think Wembley makes for good games of football. As mad as that might sound, I just don't feel that fucking stadium makes for open, expansive, good games of football for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Liverpool fans of a certain vintage were well used to great days out at Wembley and many wins, but the more recent Liverpool fan like myself and yourself may have not had the best memories of Wembley. We haven't really been that good at Wembley over the years. So yeah,
it's the Principality in Cardiff that I've got great memories of.
Yeah, absolutely. They were some good days. We were good there, to be fair. But yeah, no, Wembley's a weird one. Our record there of recent times isn't fantastic. And you're right. There's something different about a game at Wembley. It just doesn't feel the same as like an Anfield.
It feels a bit Tory-ish. Dare I say it? It does. It feels a little bit like, I don't know. I don't like the establishment side of this shit, and it just feels very establishment. I don't know. I can't really describe it, but I don't particularly like watching games at Wembley.
No, I've never been there. I'd love to go and watch a game. I'd love to be at the game, but yeah, I agree. It's a weird vibe, but I think there's kind of a negative stigma in the back of our head though because of our recent results there. We haven't had fond memories of it. I think that's why. Maybe there could be a little thing in the back of our heads that is like, I just don't like this place. But listen, I think we're good enough to go and get the job done. Chelsea are cup merchants, to be fair, so I am wary of them. We are the better team, but there's just something in the back of my head about these Chelsea fuckers. I just don't like them. Never have. They're my original team that I dislike. They're oil rich. They're backed by that snake Abramovich who, without getting into it, he's key cog in the current shit going on. So I hope we smash them for the greater good.
It's weird because I've always wanted to go to Wembley. Like, I'm fascinated with stadiums and history and architecture, but never for football. So, for instance, today when Fury White was said it's going to be in Wembley in April, I'm thinking, oh, hello, that could be my excuse to go to Wembley because I do want to go. But I don't know, man. For football, it always just feels like maybe it's because I'm so used to seeing England beating Andorra like 4-0 or something there, and it's all very meh. I just don't feel the stadium lends itself to the atmosphere, really.
Yeah, well, listen, Wembley is no Aviva Stadium. I think we must say that the Aviva is clear, my friends. But listen, I'm not too like mad on the. I don't like Wembley's fine. It's a nice stadium, but I just have a bad time there. That's why I don't like it because we've played shite there in recent times. But like if you look at the last time we were in a League Cup final, look at the team we had. We've come a long way. Listen, I'm just excited. We're in a final. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be a Liverpool fan, and I'm really just praying that we get the job done because I can't handle the abuse I will receive on TikTok from Chelsea fans and United fans and irrelevant fans of clubs like Arsenal.
Well, look, the fact that any United fan right now has the cheek to speak up, feels that they can, put down anybody right now, and I mean fucking anybody, because they're in no position right now to be bantering anyone. They're about to lose 4th place in the Premier League to Arsenal, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, man, that's Arsenal 2 games in hand as well. What a win for them last night. That'll be so funny. Ronaldo in the Europa League, wow, unbelievable. Hopefully Atletico Madrid can well. If Atletico Madrid win next week or whenever it is, that's season over for them. No trophies, which is
another
brilliant.
year. No, by the way, it was at Spurs Stadium, mate. Connor and I were over at that one. It was at Spurs Stadium. I'm surprised, actually. They're talking about the Joshua Usyk rematch there again. Clearly, I don't know what Eddie Hearn's been at, but he must see that the Spursiness has rubbed off on AJ there, and it's not setting itself for a winning environment. I wouldn't be going back near Spurs Stadium if I was AJ. I'd be like, "Nah, fuck this Spurs shit, man. Fuck, no way."
Yeah. Then again, he might want to do the opposite and prove that it was just a fluke. But what a state! It is. You've been. It's
twice. One for football, one for boxing.
Which?
I've been once for football, once for boxing.
Really?
So I've been at it. Yeah.
Oh, dead. Yeah, it looks unreal, to be fair. I'd love to visit it. I'm called the Stadium Tour Merchant, and that's definitely one for the books that I'll have a look at. Great stadium, state of the art. But
longest bar in Europe as well, runs the entire length of the pitch.
Really?
Oh man, it's honestly everything about that stadium. When I went there, I just thought I can't hate that about it. It's fucking brilliant. Everything about like even a pint for a $5 at one point.
Really?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Fair play. I mean, it's a fantastic stadium. Spurs will hope that they can actually, get some silverware to show off around
their own brewery, Paddy. Their own brewery inside the stadium.
I know it's mental. I can't. You know what? I'm in London soon. I'm going to the Spurs Stadium and I'm gonna try out that bar.
You should go to it, man. It's mad. It's like this spaceship that just kind of appears out of nowhere. Like it is a class. It's far too good for that Spurs team. Let me put it that way, mate. And I wonder. I see Conte's already making his pathway to ease his way out of Spurs now. We apparently had talks with Daniel Levy and they've settled a few things, but he is self-sabotaging there, man. He wants out of that club.
I've never seen a manager asked to be sacked before. It's bloody hilarious. People say that sabotage thing. I just think he just realizes how shit Spurs are. Let's be honest. And it's a wonder Man City lost to them home and away. So fair play to Spurs for choosing not to be Spursy for 2 occasions this year. I mean, they sold 4 players and brought in 2, and when they needed way more, so he just didn't get the backing he needed. Probably didn't have that we robbed Luis Diaz on him, but we saved Luis Diaz. So, Luis, if you're watching, you're welcome.
See that Everton have also brought in a former Red Bull director or something to be the director of football or director of sport or their, I don't know, chaperone to the championship, whatever way you want to call it.
No, he's the man that will tweet out things about their new ground every time Liverpool win a trophy, just to make Everton fans feel better. That's his job.
Yeah, fuck them all, Paddy. I know you've got one in your family, mate. So.
That was so needless. Fuck them all. Little old Everton. Let's hope they do us a favor. I have a strange feeling that they're gonna get something out of City.
Imagine. Imagine. Tomorrow's the day off. If that happens, and then we get the Josh Taylor fight tomorrow night, that'd be another great weekend. Because last weekend was top tier. Everything panned out for us.
Absolutely. And I forgot, it's actually tomorrow, isn't it? 5:30.
Yeah. I have a day off tomorrow, so I'll be fully settling in for that, and then the Josh Taylor fight after it.
You know what, Craig? I'll do a watch long for that in your honor.
Thank you, sir. I've done enough hours on Twitch this month, mate. More than enough.
Mainly because I have to I have to do one more at least, otherwise I don't get paid. but yeah, listen, I know. Actually, now that I think of it, there's no chance City are going to spank them. But we can dream for the 5 minutes Everton don't concede for.
5? You're being fucking generous there, Paddy. 5? I don't know about that, dude. Right, where else can we go? What other topics can we cover for the next half an hour, Paddy? What else will be bugging you? Because I've got a load of shit that's bugging me, dude. Really, a load of shit that's bugging me. But I better keep it on the DL. Any questions, by the way, for myself or Paddy? Do whack them into the chat. It's Friday night. You know, your weekend starts here, my friends. If you're not on the show already, I give up. What do you drink, by the way, Paddy? So I'll get a couple of cans in for you for Sunday.
Piss.
Plenty of that, my man.
No. I know. It's a weird one. It's all about the mood, isn't it? I like an old Guinness, but cans of Guinness don't really like. They're so not as good as normal a pub one. But I like a beer. But also, I'm doing a health kick, so it's like, should I be good? Maybe we'll have some on ice in case we win, and then we'll definitely have to crack one out.
Yeah, we'll send Crosby to the shop. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, Connor. Yeah, he'll be asking for money in advance, I'd say.
Well, you know, he occasionally breaks out the communion money.
I well believe he still has some of that saved.
Yeah, Connor's one of them lads that almost feels guilty spending money on himself. You know, the exact opposite of me and you.
Money burns a hole in my pocket and yours. When I have money, it's like, right, how quickly can I get rid of this? Let's buy something. Yay. That's
I'm just saying, get a credit card, you look at the limit and I go, well, that's a target. That's not a limit, that's a fucking target.
That's one thing I haven't done yet because I know that it's just going to be trouble. I'm going to avoid credit cards because I'd be the same. I'd see the limit. That's the goal, you mean. That's what I have to reach in as quick as time as possible.
My young one's turning 18 this year, and she's already said to me, don't you get any fucking notions of taking out any loans in my name when I'm 18? She knows me too well.
Or a betting account. Yeah. Listen.
Oh yeah, well, Trina has about 8 of them she doesn't know about.
Yeah, but listen, you rare her. It's you have earned the right to exploit her name.
She's far too level-headed, dude. I don't know how we produced her. She's a very level-headed, very well-balanced young lady who we're extremely proud of. But yeah, I mean, she's starting on the Malibu, Paddy. Malibu. Where's the flagging's gone? Do you know what I mean?
Malibu's. I see how people drink that because it's very easy to drink, but it's weak as piss.
Exactly. Where's
Malibu
the 8% white lightning in a field like a normal person?
Yeah, or the big bottles of cider. What were they called? Devil's Bit cider.
Devil's Bit, yeah.
Yeah, or the Naggins. And Knacker, I tell you, we Knacker drinking came back there at the first lockdown, didn't it? Well,
man, I grew up in the best place ever for that. I grew up in Shankill, which is like the very, 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 very outskirts of Dublin, practically the countryside where there's just nothing but fields and beaches. And my entire youth was spent Knacker drinking, mate. It was brilliant. I loved every minute of it.
I tell you, some of the best times ever. Cheap as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless somebody got a dolly, then you were in trouble. If someone got a dolly mixture, you know, raided their L1's fucking spirits, bit of this, bit of that, bit of this, bit of that.
Whoa, yeah, I've had one. I know well.
Do you remember
Malibu
Ritz?
Is nice though.
Were you old enough to remember Ritz, the drink Ritz?
No.
Hudson Blue. Do you remember that?
No.
They were the kind of things like when I was growing up, cider was the thing you first went to because you know it was you were saying about Malibu. It was an easy transition, so it was a Perry, so it was a pear cider. Ritz and Hudson Blue was a cheaper version, cheaper than Bulmers basically.
Yeah, cider. Yeah, that's true. Cider's handy to drink, but it can leave your head spinning the next day.
Yeah, agreed. How do we end up on Knacker drinking? By the way, that has to be. Is that an Irish thing or is that a normal thing?
Well, I think the term is Irish, but for anyone who's not Irish, it just means going out to a field or somewhere outside with your friends and drinking, basically.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah, it was great. Only in the summer though. You wouldn't be doing that shit in the winter.
Oh, I've done it. I've definitely done it. But I'm the king of not wrapping up properly. Like I'll look outside. It'll be cold as fuck, and I'll still go out with just one fleece on and nipples like ice cubes. But that's because I have a lot of insulation.
I'm with you, man. Look, do you know what I mean? Plenty of insulation here as well.
Absolutely.
So what do we think of the Champions League after the midweek games as well? So obviously we've seen United somehow pull a fucking draw out their arse away at Atletico Madrid. And then the other game as well, Benfica Ajax all square.
Yeah, I mean, United played terrible, and on the basis of that, it was a great result. I think Atletico Madrid will beat them in the second leg, hopefully. But then again, I'd rather play United than Atletico Madrid, so it's a weird one. I reckon Ajax will do the job, but I just can't wait for our return leg. I'm gonna do my level best to sell my soul for the ticket to the Inter game. But yeah, that's gonna be biblical.
Yeah, I mean, I think that tie's done. I'm gonna go 3-1 for the second leg.
Yeah, 2-0 is a great lead, but also because we're going back to Anfield, I'd back us against prime Brazil at Anfield. You know what I mean? Like I really would. I do think it's done as well. Well, I mean, I think it's as good as done because I think we're going to win the second leg.
How do you feel about chasing down Manchester City now? I know we both looked at the fixtures recently, and they're kind of samey. They're not a million miles apart with the caliber of opposition that we both have to play. But I just feel if they get through this Everton game, the United game, I think then it's back in their advantage. I think if they're going to slip up a little bit, maybe the next few games could be where they do it again.
Yeah, I was looking at the fixtures left for both teams. Pretty similar fixtures, it must be said, bar one or two teams. City easily can win every single game without batting an eyelid. That's the sad reality of it. But also, I was looking at our games, and in the mood we're in, I think we can win every single game as well. We're both that good. And if we do win every single game, our points total at the end of the year will be 96, which actually is outdated now because it's obviously 97. But yeah, I think it's going to be the United game or bust. I think that they're going to drop points, but ultimately, I think we have to back ourselves to go to the Etihad and beat them. That would be a title decider for sure.
As of right now,
yeah.
it's technically in our own hands. If we won the Etihad even a scaldy 1-0 with the way things currently sit with the goal difference, yeah, we've got it back into our own hands. I wanted to just touch on something that kind of came into my mind when I was doing out the predicted 11s and I was doing the preview earlier on for the Chelsea game. I mean, what a position it must be in for clubs like Manchester City and Chelsea to be able to stick the guts of 100 million quid signing on the bench and not really have to worry about playing them, which we've seen with Grealish, which we've seen with Lukaku at Chelsea. First world problems right there, my man. I mean, there's no way. Just that, I don't know how I feel about it. The reason I bring it up is like, one, the expenditure, obviously, but two, it just kind of goes to show how bad these clubs can be at spending money at times. And we need to be really grateful for what we have with regards to, let's say we brought in Luis Diaz, 37.5 million up to a potential 50 million quid, and he's already involved. Like, I don't know how I feel about Grealish being 100 million quid bench warmer at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, the embarrassment of riches City have is crazy. Their depth is unparalleled. It's such a nightmare to try and compete with. But yeah, the money they have is crazy. Grealish hasn't settled in like he would have hoped. He's kind of doing a lot of off the field antics. Pep has clipped him a few times for going out partying and stuff, and it's pardon my pun, but a bit of a jack the lad. You have to go live your life, but he's known for that. He done a bit of that at Villa at a gaff party. He crashed his car and things like that. So listen, as an Irishman, I don't care that he's flopped. I'm not rooting for him in the slightest. I do think he definitely can come good, but he was never worth 100 million. Never will be worth 100 million. But I do think he can stop himself from being labelled a flop. I made a video recently saying players are rendered flops too quickly. So he still has a long career. Yeah, I feel like the player's contract, the first contract, at the end of that contract, then you assess whether they're a flop or not. They can still actually come good. So I think McGreely still can come good, but I'm glad that he's not, because if he was firing on all cylinders, we'd be in for a frightening few months.
Yeah, and do you think there's any way Lukaku starts this game, or do you expect, like me, to see another Kai Havertz through that false nine?
I think we see Kai Havertz. I think if we see Lukaku, I'm an extra 10% more confident that we're going to win. Lukaku would give me confidence. I think he's a fantastic player on his day, but it just ultimately isn't working for him right now at Chelsea. I do hope I do see that Reece James is back in training. I hope we don't see him because he worries me. He's a fantastic footballer.
Brilliant. No, he's a very good player.
Very good. And if Chelsea had him and Chilwell all year, they would have been in a much better position in the league. But I reckon we will see Kai Havertz. He's somewhat of a Origi-esque player for them in terms of comes big in big moments. He's their own Origi, but he costs 70 million, so that's the difference. So I do expect to see Kai Havertz, and I really hope we can keep him quiet. But as I said, this game will be won and lost in midfield, as many games are, but this game in particular. And when we have Thiago Alcantara on our side, I'm confident.
I love that man. I fucking love that man. Somebody asked me this earlier on. I want to see if you answer it the same way. Who worries you? One player from the Chelsea team right now that you're worried about?
I would say Kai Havertz. And if not Kai Havertz, I'd say Ziyech. He's been in good form for them.
Interesting. Mine were Kante and Kai Havertz. But I couldn't kind of go between the two. If Kante's on form, there aren't many better midfielders. If he can run a game, N'Golo Kante. Although so can the man you just spoke about, Mr. Alcantara.
Yeah, it's going to be a key battle in midfield. It's going to be really intriguing to watch. N'Golo Kante has been one of the best players in the world for 6 years, 7 years, maybe. He's such a I hate how he gets babied all the time though. It's like, oh, look at Kante smiling. Like, I'm sure he's sick of that as well. Like, would you stop licking his arse? Let the man live his life. It's so embarrassing and cringy. But yeah, I agreed. But yeah, I see another one in the comments saying Ziyech as well. I also, if he plays, Pulisic worries me because I rate Pulisic. I do rate him. He hasn't quite, reached the levels he would have hoped or Chelsea would have hoped. But when he looks to get him behind and terrorize defenders and he's done it to us before, I believe. He scored the Super Cup finally got a disallowed goal, and I'm sure he scored against us on another time. So I hope he doesn't start because he's a lively player. He is the potential to be one of the better players in the league if he just I would love him at Liverpool as an option off the bench.
Mate, I'll never understand how we didn't make that go from at that time. Everything I say it over and over again, but marketability, the own American owners, so much that just thought, why the fuck didn't we sign Christian Pulisic at the time? The Dortmund connection obviously there as well. And I just worry every time he gets on the ball. I think he's one of these players that is very foulable, if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Wins a lot.
He's very tricky. Yeah, and I don't know if you've ever seen the clip, but on Pawn Stars, he's referred to as the LeBron James of soccer. So, he's a superstar. He is.
That frame was pretty fucking good. As somebody who comes from a background of Birch, that frame for that Pawn Stars episode of the Pulisic shirt, that was a damn fine frame. Yeah,
absolutely. But my God, did I die of cringe at that? Some of them statements from them.
Oh, I've heard of him. He's like the LeBron James of soccer. Yes, Corey, just soccer. Down, mate.
Right up there with Messi and Ronaldo. No. But then again, he is fantastic. He genuinely is really good. And he has the potential to be one of the best American players ever. I mean, there's been a couple. But he does worry me. He's definitely someone that's going to be tough to keep quiet if he plays.
I don't think I've spoken to you since, but I did a watch along last night of the Rangers game against Dortmund, and fucking hell, man, I'm just gonna say, well done. Like I know, obviously, some people Rangers Celtic divide, but just from a perspective of a footballing spectacle, Ibrox was rocking, and that was one hell of a result.
Great result, absolutely, for sure. I do think Dortmund are wholly overrated though, and they were without Haaland. Not to be the bearer of bad news, but I seen the commentator say it was the biggest result in recent Scottish history. No, Celtic have had many bigger nights. However, great result. And I do think they'll go through again. I think they got Sparta Prague or
they got Red Star Belgrade.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was one. Oh, that's a tough one, but they'll beat them. Yeah, good result though, and the atmosphere was great. It's no Celtic Park Paradise atmosphere, but it was decent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old enough to remember some much bigger Celtic Champions League nights. Much bigger, like Barcelona.
We're not biased at all.
No, I genuinely am. I couldn't give a fuck about Rangers Celtic. I'm more of an Aberdeen person just to be awkward, but genuinely, really, I think it's true. I remember much bigger nights and teams like struggling to come to Celtic Park on the big European night.
Oh, absolutely. No, listen, I'm only obviously have tongue in cheek with that, like, but no, it was a great result for Rangers, and I do think they'll go through again. And good to see the foundations that our Stevie G left in place. Van Bronckhorst has taken and done well with, and yeah, fair play to them. It's good for the Scottish coefficient as well.
Absolutely, and other bits and pieces as well today in the draw. I think West Ham got run. No, Leicester got run. Sorry, in the Europa Conference League. Obviously, the team that sort of run RENNES.
Oh, Ren, yeah.
Yeah, they were the team that were responsible for Spurs' little exit from that competition after the awarding of a 3-0 victory. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that'll be a difficult game for Leicester. Leicester, they're very hit and miss. I do expect them to win, but that Europa Conference League is, yeah, it's a bit tin pot. Like it's Leicester.
Man,
I should.
It's a load of me arse. Let's be honest.
Yeah, like whoever wins that, I don't want them. It's not. It should not be considered a major trophy, and if it is, it's a disgrace. But it's great for the minnows getting the chance. If Scotland and Northern Ireland played,
get a fucking FAI team in there, mate. You know what I mean? Not one. That wasn't great.
I know. The question: if Scotland and Northern Ireland played, who'd you support? Scotland. But yeah, no, absolutely. It's no League of Ireland team is a bit grim. Bows had a good run, to be fair, but yeah, they couldn't quite do it. But that West Ham and Sevilla tie in the Europa League is mega. That's big.
Yeah,
I think West Ham could do it.
I was looking at that as well earlier on, thinking, oh, they'll enjoy that. The West Ham fans, that's a big tie, like. And I tell you what, I think they'll give Sevilla a proper run for their money. I think that'll be an interesting couple of legs.
Absolutely. Anthony Martial coming back to England so soon, obviously. The world-class R9 reincarnation, I've been told for many years. Haven't quite seen why, but listen, maybe he'll come good eventually. He is, well, I mean, not young anymore, is he? But yeah, that's a great tie for West Ham, and they definitely could do it. They are the Europa League merchants, are Sevilla, so,
imagine going
Julian Lopetegui will have his work cut out.
The full 600 or 700 games that it takes to win the Europa Conference Leagues, and then going, well done, lads, well done. Your reward, you're in the Europa League next season. Well done, congratulations.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't like how they do that. You get knocked out of one into the other, and there's like a thing. I think it's unfair on the teams who start out outright in those competitions. I think if you get knocked out of the Champions League, you're gone. You get knocked out of the Europa League, you're gone. Do you know what I mean? You should be done. As soon as you get knocked out, you should be gone. Not dropped into the next one.
I'm calling on all those within Liverpool Football Club, by the way. I mean, we need our own rescue operation. We cannot leave Jude Bellingham where he is, Paddy. It's just unfair on the lad. Having to carry that Dortmund team without Haaland in it. I feel it's only right that we go and rescue him and bring him back and give him the platform that he deserves amongst the players he deserves.
Absolutely. I echo that statement. And it was funny on Twitter. A clip came out on Twitter today of him giving Nico Schulz a lot of abuse after a misplaced pass, saying, "Oh, you fucking shit! You can't fucking play a pass right." I know he's not from London, but I'm not doing a wrong accent. And everyone was like, "Oh, red flag, disgusting." It's like, get a grip of yourselves, will you? That he's a leader at 18 years of age. He's the dog's bollocks, and that man will be wearing the red of Liverpool in sooner rather than later. Please God.
Cabbages ever played a game of football? These lads that spouting this bollocks on social media, like. Mate, I have flung a lot worse at my centre-backs when I was playing and got a lot worse back from them as well. And my midfielder's like, fuck me. Jesus.
I know. It's like...
You'd be cancelled for some of the shit you say on the football pitch.
I know. It's crazy. Like, it's high emotion. It's high octane. It's high tempers. Yeah, so if anyone is offended by Jude Bellingham giving his left-back stick for misplacing a pass, you need to get out more. Yeah,
or you need to actually stop, talking at your arse and go and play a game of football because... Yeah, 5 minutes of me on a football pitch and I'll be, I mean, that's why I've never really got into coaching kids football, because I'd be like, see you, you special case, you fucking cabbage, get over here. That's the way I speak, like, that's just the way I'd be all nice a few minutes later, but in the heat of the moment, in battle, I'd want Bellingham or any of my players. Hendo's great at it. Hendo's always barking at people.
Absolutely. I see a comment there. Any worries about Bellingham's character if he tries to force through a move?
Yeah, this is where we're hypocrites. Let's be honest. We're all fucking hypocrites because if one of our players does it to get out, they're the worst in the world. But if someone does it to come to us, sure, look, he was only wanting to step up in his career. But I don't think he will force his way out, to be honest. I think I think it will be an incredible deal for Dortmund financially whenever it happens. Whoever when Bellingham moves on, but will he force his way out? I mean, he probably has a right to question what's going on at Dortmund now. They're not really challenging in the Bundesliga as much as anybody can challenge. Bayern Munich. They've been knocked out of the Champions League and then the Europa League. So I can understand if he has some questions.
No, listen, yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, Dortmund are a selling club. Like, they can always come up and say, we're not selling. No, 999. But they are a selling club. They have to sell to compete. They just, it is what it is. And there's going to come, an offer is going to come in that's going to be too good to turn down. Although I don't want him to force through the move. I want it to be done amicably and properly, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, because as we hate when a Liverpool player does it. So hopefully he does it the right way. And hopefully it is this summer.
You know what I did see, though? And I wasn't lost on our chat either, because a few people have mentioned this to me. We didn't see Jude Bellingham dropping his head like we've seen Rafinha drop his head. That spoke to me a lot about his character. If we want to talk about lad's character, that shows me he's a fighter, and I like those type of characters. Not trying to run down Rafinha, but he definitely let his head drop in that game for Leeds.
Yeah, 100%. Now, listen, Bellingham is mature beyond his years. He's a fantastic footballer. He has the right mentality. And yeah, I have no doubts about his mentality, his character. He'll slot right into the Liverpool/Jurgen Klopp system. And as I said, hopefully it's this summer.
Do you know if Chris has checked out Grindr for the local bathrooms for his handlebar moustache when he's gone to Wembley, by the way? I meant to ask that.
Yeah, he's all over it. Yeah, he's downloaded and ready to go.
I was going to stick a few pins in the map for him just to make sure he knows where he's at.
I think he's going to bottle it and shave it, though, I have to be honest. I
don't know. He strikes me as the type of lad that will convince himself that that's acceptable public behaviour. He needs people like me and you in his life to just, emphatically tell him it isn't.
Listen, yeah, I agree. At most times I'll pile on and join in with the abuse, but if we're talking about shit stashes, I'm the CEO, so I can't really banter him too much.
If we're talking about no facial hair, I'm the CEO. But yeah, look, maybe
no is good.
But I feel like it's a halfway house of a moustache, Paddy. You know what I mean? If he's gonna do it, go the full handlebars. Go full duck or no dinner.
I agree. He's got to go, and then maybe a goatee, then maybe sideburns. I'm looking forward to this evolution.
Evolution, I like that. The evolution of Chris Stonage. If that isn't a fucking video right there, Paddy, the evolution of Stonage.
And we'll follow his progress together with the chat for the next few months.
Before we finish up, my man, I haven't got a prediction off you. I know you said you think maybe penalties, but give us a score prediction for the 90 minutes.
1-1 after extra time. Liverpool win on penalties.
Oh man, I don't know if mine there. I'll be behind my sofa. You'll be having to talk through the penalty shootout if that's the case, mate. Because I'm already getting nervous thinking about that.
I don't know. It's been such a turbulent run in the League Cup this year. I just think if there's a scriptwriter up there, it's just going to be pens. I have a weird thing for penalties. However, we are good enough to go and blow them out of the water. Like paper versus paper, we win 10 times out of 10. However, on a final, things are different. They have more recent memory of finals. They've just won one a couple of weeks ago. So I'm saying we're gonna win, but it'll be on penalties, and it's gonna be the Liverpool way of not making it easy and making us shit ourselves.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right from my history of supporting the club. Anyway, people are asking in the chat, are we going to do the watch along on YouTube or Twitch? Honestly, I'm still torn right now at this moment in time about it. We had planned for Twitch, but I don't know. I don't know what's best. Honestly, I don't. Like, we have a company on board. We've got the mystery boxes to give away, and there's one here for Paddy to open, and one for Connor, and one for Lucas, and we're giving away 5, by the way. 5. But what do we think? I mean, I like the general consensus on this.
I think YouTube for the final. I think it's a big one. I think you got to stay on YouTube.
What about chat?
Let me do a joint stream on Twitch. Share the love. We'll put the feed on Twitch as well.
Could be, yeah,
I'm
could do, but
joking.
you're taking our viewers away, dickhead. That's the only.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, counterintuitive. It's okay. No, I think YouTube. But I think the Twitch transition is still in the pipeline. But I think while it's not completely set in stone, I think YouTube is the baby. Like you get the most viewers on YouTube as well, which is obviously good. And maybe go on to a sponsor and ask for an extra few quid because it is a final and it's going to be big numbers.
Well, it's, emphatically fucking YouTube in the chat. Anyway, it's 100% YouTube in the chat.
Not one Twitch. Love it. I'm gonna have the boy guys saying, "Fucking hell, Paddy, you could have fucking said Twitch, buddy."
No, I like the honesty from everybody. This is a democratic fucking decision. It's everybody in this together. Like, so let me have a chat with Connor. And shit, do you know what? I don't even have time to come back on because I'm not doing any content tomorrow. Look, I think the chat has spoken. So, I'll have a chat with Connor and we'll put out a community post anyway, and we'll let you guys know on social media. So make sure you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, and we'll make sure to get you guys plenty of notification. But yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. Paddy's coming down to my house. It's going to be carnage. We're going to have some fun. We're going to make some shitty videos. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be laughing. Hopefully, we're not going to be crying, Paddy.
No, it's going to be a great day, no matter what. It might not end great, but we're going to vibe and enjoy the experience anyway.
We will talk to you guys then. There will be a video going out tomorrow. I'm going to record a One Football news show tonight, so that's going to be going out tomorrow where we talk about all the latest news. Thank you so much to Mr. Paddy Murphy. What have you got coming up for the weekend, dude, by the way? Any streams or anything you want to plug?
I'm going to be heading over to Twitch now to play some FIFA and Foot Champs. So if anyone is into FIFA, Ultimate Team, it's going to be a Divock Origi Road to Glory because they've released a showdown card of Origi, boosted stats that gets upgraded if we win. So Origi to Glory on Twitch in about 10 minutes or so.
I'll have to get Chris to explain all that to me. You know that he's our interpreter.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's hard to understand. To be fair, it's not as good as your FIFA, but we'll give it a go.
Oh man, just when I think I'm getting to grips with this FIFA shit, there's 50 other things that I don't understand going on, and I just scratch my. And I watch you, I watch Goldbridge, I watch Pieface, I sit there watching, going, I don't understand any of this. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand how people often at times just leave games as well. Just I'm not winning this. Fuck off.
Listen, Craig, my advice to you will be never get into Ultimate Team because I promise you, you'll ruin your mental health and you'll ruin your bank account because you will get sucked into the FIFA points and you will buy packs to be able to pack shit. And it's a horrible, vicious cycle. So please, don't go near it because I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I've already got enough voices that get rid of my money. So I don't think I need any more. So look, we will leave it there. So go across, give Paddy a bit of support. Not that he needs it. He basically owns Twitch anyway. So go across there, Mr. Paddy Murphy on Twitch. You will see him in breakdown mode. Because I like when you get worked up.
Because we have the final on Sunday, I think I'm going to have to play all 20 games in this stream because I have to do a watch along tomorrow. So it's going to be fucking painful. But I'm looking forward to it.
Have a lovely weekend, Paddy. Have a lovely weekend, my man.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys here. And thank you to SPITCH as well. Links are in the description to download it and for the SPITCH community. Thank you, Mr. Paddy Murphy. Thank you to you guys. Enjoy your weekend.